Okay, ads over. Good to go. Thing is, Paladin has just a massive amount of cooldowns that you're juggling between. Hand of Divinity, Tears Deliverance, you have Wings, you have Daybreak, you have Divine Toll, you have Aura Mastery, you have all these different ways that are modifying your healing. And so you get these like big swings between one thing and another, just over and over and over again. It's like you're dependent upon all of these cooldowns. And so when you're trying to like blast healing, there's a lot of setup. And Disc had this situation in Season 1 and Season 2, where you had to hit all these modifiers and hit all these extra buttons before you could actually like do the healing. And Paladin's been this way for quite a while. This is what happened with the rework, but after that Season 2 rework in Dragonflight, you were just so powerful that you're like, oh crap, I can just like run everything over, I can do the most damage, I can do the most healing, whatever, right? Because they just made the pie larger. But all of the nerfs Paladin sustained after that rework were numbers nerfs. They didn't change like the design of things. So they shrunk the pie. And when they did, it was just a bloated mess. So like, there's never any moment where you have like a choice between Daybreak or Tears Deliverance or something else, you know? It's like you take all of the things. You know? I mean, that's what I've been trying. I've been like messing around with like some veneration and stuff, but it's not like you're gonna drop like Tears Deliverance or Daybreak or and like go after like Crusader's Might or, you know, Inquisitor or something like that, you know? So Shaman's in like a pretty good spot though, because what Shaman does, the nice thing with them, is that Totem Shaman takes the maintenance of Healing Rain out and makes it a lot easier to maintain. Makes it like way easier to maintain. And the totems that you're deploying, which are like Healing Stream or Cloudburst, Mana Tide, Healing Tide Totem, Spirit Link, they all are casting full strength chain heals. And so what it does is it allows you to consume excess Tidal Wave, Tidebringer, High Tide buffs without actually having to spend mana in the process. And so it's like really good streamlining that you get out of it. Yeah. I think it's better to have less modifiers. Yeah, I mean, just make things like passive buffs of like, okay, you just naturally do X% more healing or something like that, and then you'll be chilling. So, yeah, right now it's a little stupid, Black Raven. But it's also like stupidly going after like pets and things like that that I think are obvious that they can like fix, you know? But even if it's more focused on healing and your damage suffers a little bit, like healer damage through most of the Dragonflight dungeons is not the difference between pass and fail. Like so much of the Dragonflight seasons were just about survivability. You know? Like healing was really brutal in Season 1 as healers tried to like save people. Like the healing checks were really nasty. You guys remember the ice falls in Ruby Life Pool, the first boss? When she would spawn icicles, they would like hit you for like half your health before they nerfed it, you know? So like, who gives a fuck about your damage if the healing checks are going to be brutal or, you know, or tough at least, right? Like, who cares, you know? But if this trend continues where it's about survivability and it's not about healer damage, then like, I don't think it's the end of the world, you know? I was doing like my 0 to hero challenge in Season 3 and there were moments I'd hit a Sunfire on Druid and like, that would be it. But we would pass or fail the dungeon based on our ability to keep people alive, you know? One hero talent tree would be clearly better for M+, or raids are more ambiguous. I think that exists in a few different ways, yeah. It's not a constant rule, but it does exist. Like Keeper of the Grove Druid is a raid-oriented Druid setup. You know, Herald of the Sun is almost certainly going to be a raid setup. I think Herald and Lightsmith can go well in a key environment, right? Yeah, it's like, who cares about your damage on third boss of Halls, right? Just live. Which is a good way to have it, right? It's a good way to have it. 100%. All right, I think I got the YouTube stream back on board, so sorry for the YouTube gang that got disconnected there. I think I got it back, though. Welcome back, Rums. But yeah, it's like an unfortunate thing, but I think it's like an obvious problem that Blizzard, you know, will have to work on. And I'm sure forums are like blowing up that the totems are going out into range and, you know, all that stuff. So. Sounds good, Swift. Since we were talking about Paladin all the time, we can just go play it here. I'm gonna love Holy Pally so bad. Dude, me too. Paladin was the first healer I ever played. Paladin was the first healer I ever played. First healer I ever made. I wish. I wish. I want it bad. Oh yeah, and we have like Blessing of Summer. Yeah, like Lightsmith's fun. It's also just a lot of rotational abilities in a spec that's already clogged. Like Lightsmith, I think feels pretty good, but it's gonna feel even better if they unclog the spec with all these like active abilities you need to maintain, you know? It's like by removing some things, it makes other things feel better. Yeah. Rogue come back. I honestly just like don't have any desire to play DPS specs. Yeah. Too many weak rotational CDs? 100%. 100%. Yeah, you just got a bunch of cooldowns to press and cycle between and mess around with. It's annoying. So, I like Archon Holy Priest a lot. It actually makes Halo a legit, like, good button to press. It feels significant. It feels weighty. I mean, Halo, for all of Dragonflight, right? Halo felt like a pretty garbage button. It's like, oh, it's just here. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Yay. You know? I mean, I think Archon failed their own description. God damn it. Why do we go back to this dungeon? Ugh. You know, it still doesn't meet the description of what Archon's supposed to be, but, you know. I like Herald more, but I appreciate Lightsmith. I like them both. Gosh, I heckin' love this dungeon. Every time you press Dream Breath or Spirit Bloom, it feels good and HP bars move. Yeah. And it's no surprise that a spec like Preservation, which does not have a lot of buttons, has each button feel significant and weighty, you know? We have one of those Kyrian stewards? Yeah. Yeah. Your talent tier list has changed much. From my last video, the only one I would really like change a lot of would be like putting, I don't know, Farseer lower, Totem higher. I don't think I had Totem in the video, but you know. Definitely Shaman. Yeah. 27 buttons and having all of them do nothing by themselves. I know, crazy, right? Hey, Ben Cameron. What do you think the rotation for this is going to be? Not too different. There'll be some little adjustments, I think, here and there, but if you played in Season 3, it'll be very familiar. It'll be very, very familiar. I was already looking at my guides and everything, too. I'm like, dang, I don't have to rewrite everything. At least not yet. Yeah. Like how it is now? Me too, man. Me too. Prez is really, really fun. Yeah. They added to the spec without adding too much to it. I kind of wish they would make Flame Shaper, like the Engulf. Wish they would make that more single target than AoE, honestly. Play different versions of the classic, pressing a button, actually feeling like the mob is getting chunked. Yeah, exactly. Feeling the weight of your abilities. So. Most fun? That's tough. There's like fun things about all the healers this far. But probably Priest still the most fun. Both Archon and Voidweaver are a lot of fun. Voidweaver's probably the coolest, though.
Jack's been making my opinion for me for 2 years at least. Very relaxing for me.
I got you, AJ. Happy to help. Happy to help. Thank you for the 2 years. New affixes? You're not baiting me, right? Refreshing Wowhead. Where is it? New and retired affixes. Ooh. Oh, wait, this is actually big. We experiment with our existing dungeon difficulty progression to offer additional endgame opportunities. Okay, so they're playing the same model. Heroic is basically a baseline mythic 0. Cubable experience. Interesting. Daily difficulty be unavailable until the season begins. Interesting. Daily lockout, too. That'd be good for gearing alts. Meaningful challenge and reward. Alright, 2s are Fortified Tyrannical. 4 is a new set of passive affixes. 7 is bursting and bolstering and other stuff like that. Alright, our overarching goal is to minimize the mechanical overlap between affixes and dungeon trash. We aim to achieve this through a more passive approach. Shift the source of challenge to the dungeon by simplifying affix design and creature abilities. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm just going to AFK them. Sorry. Thank you, Michael. Oh, the thoughts on tier set stuff? Nah, I handed it in. They're going to review it and post it and stuff unknown. Non-boss enemies without mana ignore 20% of armor with their attacks, but their armor is reduced and they take increased arcane damage. What? Does that mean any ability does more damage? I don't think so. Thorned non-boss enemies without mana inflict physical damage to their attackers when attacked, but take increased holy and shadow damage. Wait, what? Non-boss enemies with mana inflict 20% increased magic damage, but take 10% increased nature damage and 30% increased damage from bleed effects. Wait. This just sounds like to me that certain weeks you're just gonna want one healer over another. You're like, it's Holy Shadow Week. Huh? Non-boss enemies with mana have 30% increased haste, but take 10% increased frost and fire damage. What? These affixes don't affect every creature. Artificially making the meta every week? Yeah. Okay. Following affixes will be retired. Wow. Afflicted, Incorp, Entangling, Storming, and Volcanic are all being retired. Holy shit. That's a lot. That's a lot. To match the number of affixes in our level 4 bucket and align with our affix goals, be retiring Spiteful. The 7 bucket includes Raging, Bolstering, Bursting, Sanguine. So basically, Bursting is still super easy, and the other 3 I'll suck. Trying to kick me from group? That's fine. I'll just leave. I'll just leave. Why is bolstering still there? Dude, I don't know why Sanguine, Bolstering, Raging are all still there. I don't know. Like, they should have retired those and kept, like, Incorp and Entangling or something like that. Yeah. But, like, we're still experimenting with how these affixes fit in with our updates. We believe these changes will offer a refreshing experience for players at all levels. Yeah, so every week is a mage week, I guess, except for the Holy and Shadow week. I guess they don't deal nature damage. So, like, 2 out of the 4 weeks, mages are up good. What did the new affixes even solve? Yeah, it's basically like forced class diversity. It's basically just forced class diversity. Really want you to play alts? Yeah, I guess that's the other thing is, like, it feels like your ability to time, and again, these are non-boss enemies, so it's like on fortified weeks, when you have fortified and reckless, you would need people who can do arcane damage. This might be the worst one, because isn't arcane like the hardest of the schools to actually find, you know? Arcane, Boomy, Guardian. Yeah. Are you gonna, like, change your rotations so that you hit more, like, arcane buttons or something like that onto these mobs so they'll hit harder? Yeah. Physical damage mobs will do more to it too. Yeah. Fortified Thorns weeks, making melee retire. Yeah. So, like, okay, this week does more tank damage. This week does more party damage. This makes the casters just fuck you up if you miss a cast. And same thing with focused. Like, these weeks are kind of similar. Like, these weeks are actually, like, oddly similar, you know? So melee just won't get invited on Thordwinks? Yeah. Yeah. Like, why would they want more haste on the mobs? I don't get it. Yeah, can you imagine, like, forcing that focus week might go crazy on fortified bolster weeks? Yeah, yeah. Score should be account bound, basically, yeah. Yeah, I think this is really stupid. Honestly. I think this is really stupid. I'm just so baffled by this. Maybe it won't matter on, like, tyrannical weeks or something like that, but these fortified combos that you're going to have with bolstering or sanguine or raging or something like that is going to be nuts. Oh, I know. I know. It's going to be implemented, man. Mages will be able to spell steal the haste? Probably, dude. Probably. I mean, maybe that's the other thing is, like, what if they have there's, like, these buffs that are applied to the mobs, you just purge them off, and, like, that's it, and then you don't care about them at all? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad they're trying to shake things up, but that seems extremely, extremely heavy-handed. You know? But the concept of forced group diversity in general, I mean, it's just like their own admission that they don't want to balance that much, and they don't want to do anything about the raid buffs, which are always, always a problem. Yeah. I mean, it would be cool, Anaya. Yeah. Buy melee classes. Yeah, nobody takes additional melee damage, right? That's the other thing. Why does nobody take additional melee damage? I mean, I get the bleed effects, but there's plenty of melee that don't bleed their targets to death. Oh, their armor is reduced by 30%. Okay. Sorry, I saw that. I see. Okay, got it. Okay, mubby. True. DH is going to be up good. Every week is a DH week. God, I hope that Vengeance Demon Hunter is going to be a good tank. Gosh, that'd be so cool. We never see Vengeance Demon Hunters ever. Wow. Wowee, that's really radical. Yeah. 100% pushing for Assassination Rogues to be viable every 4th week. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Except balance by making things more chaotic might actually not be a bad approach. I mean, but it's not chaotic though. It's going to be scheduled for who is going to be best. That's my issue. And then people are going to be like, oh yeah, I do a lot of damage because it's my week because I have the buff. And you're going to feel like crap when you're like doing holy shadow damage on an attuned week and you're playing with people who have bleeds and nature damage. Like, what? Liz went, what can we do to piss everyone off and then still let's implement? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. Cool for MDI? Okay, so I feel like this would be cool for MDI to like force variance in comps, yeah. So that the high-end best players in the world are forced to play a variety of things. But I think it sucks for the average player. Oh my god. Variety of comps and meta comps. But the thing is, what the variety of comps is going to mean for like live keys and what you're doing is going to be like you don't get invited 3 out of the 4 weeks. It's like you just don't get invited. Drew to be meta at least 2 to 4 weeks. Blizzard go back to the drawing board. Yep. Yep. I think a force group to ever see an MDI without fucking up the rest of us. Exactly. Choose which one of these every week. Well, then you would basically like make a comp based off of what your friend group is, I guess. Oh yeah, what are hunters gonna do? BM doesn't have like bleeds, right? I mean, I guess it'd just be reckless weeks. MM is kind of a bleed. Does MM have any like nature damage? BM does have bleeds? Okay. Mark says arcane shot, they'll be fine. Instead of school specs damage, each week is 10% stat bonus. All classes benefit, no one feels bad, but some benefit slightly more. Yeah, well that's the thing, is like it might benefit certain people more. Yeah. Yep, this is the... I mean, Vengeance Demon Hunter is going to be crazy, dude. VDH is going to be absolutely insane. These tooltips indicate whether the affixes apply to creatures with or without mana. These affixes will not affect every creature. So, like, what does this mean? Are there going to be, like, certain annoying mini-boss mobs that you actually have to deal with here? Like, it's going to be... like beguiling, where there's like lieutenant mobs, basically. Yeah, like exactly. So it's like there's gonna be certain mini boss. I mean, there's a lot of mini bosses. That's the thing. Well, I know there's mana and non-mana mobs, but read the whole thing, Juan. like literally what I highlighted. These affixes will not affect every creature. So like in the Priory dungeon, there's a lot of mini bosses, right? And so is it going to be affecting mostly mini bosses or something? Items or embellishments of the effects so you can change. I mean, wishful thinking, you know. Priory room, last boss can be off limits. Well, it won't affect bosses again. But if it affects like the mini boss, if you have thorns on the mini boss before the last boss in Priory that does damage, like that guy already does ticking damage, you know? Aren't too good because it only affects a part of the mobs. Well, okay, so remember the mini boss and Ruby Life Pools at the very end of the dungeon? Okay? Remember that guy? He does his lightning storms. What if they have put these affixes on that guy? Like that mini boss is no pushover on Fortified Weeks. Yeah. Different resist type. No, I mean, they're just going to want you to bring damage setups. Sounds like a skip. I mean, you literally can't skip that. The only way to skip is not to play. Yeah. Who's making these, man? I just want to talk. I just want to talk. How's it going, Reed? They want you to have your warband alts shine more, I guess. I mean, we'll see how widespread this is. But I can already see them applying it to most of the mini bosses. But the thing is, like, I don't know. Why did they get rid of Incorp? I feel like they actually tuned Incorp so everybody actually deals with it, you know? Yeah, I wish I had connections, Boar. I wish I had connections. Hey, at least Vengeance Demon Hunter will be fine, alright? They're trying to bring variety to M+ through affixes and your hero talents, but giving you these kind of damage, like Hunter does arcane and shadow damage. Well, it doesn't change Priest's damage. How does VDH get buffed from this? Well, remember the part about them casting more often, dealing more damage if their casts get off, naturally dealing more damage, and then the damage they take is increased because chaos damage? I mean, literally, Warrior's like the only one, no one. Come on. Like, cherry pick, please. Wouldn't matter if I was Bobby Kotick himself. Yeah. How did they not retire Sanguine? That's a good question. That is a really good question. I mean, honestly, Fluffy, who cares about the top players? You know? Like, who cares about that stuff? What about the average person who just wants to pug a 10 for their weekly and then they don't get invited because they don't deal the right type of damage? You know? 75% of weeks are Raging, Bolstering, and Sanguine? Yeah. Yeah. You keep all of these affixes, which people hate. Yep. Really shitty dungeon pool with shitty affixes. Yep. Like, these are all the affixes minus bolstering. Or sorry, minus bursting. Raging, bolstering, and raging. Raging, bolstering, and sanguine are like all the affixes that people like did not want to play. I don't get it. I don't get it. Do I even make a video about this, or I just be salty the whole time? Oh, man. For one of your bullion items. Uh-oh. Eternal numbers don't tell and player numbers drastically reduced during those weeks. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, we'll whip up a quick video. Alright. Hey, Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jack. Back at it again to talk about the new Affix changes and Affix updates for the War Within. With this, they're continuing with the same exact format that they had previously for Season 4, where heroic difficulty is on the equivalent of the Mythic Zeros that we saw in Season 3 and before then. And keep in mind that Mythic Dungeons are no longer, or not going to be available until Season 1 begins of the War Within. So the first couple weeks are basically just going to be you doing normal and heroic dungeons throughout. Keeping in mind, the other part of it that is a really interesting change is that Mythic difficulty is now going to be a daily lockout. So this is actually going to be really good for like gearing up your alts, prepping them, and it's going to have the vault rewards added on top of it. The dungeons, we mentioned it previously, Stone Vault, Dawnbreaker. This is the like Dragon Riding Dungeon, Arakara, City of Echoes, City of Threads, Grim Batol, Necrotic Wake, Mists, and for some reason, Siege of Borealis. That being said, they're also changing around how the affixes are going to be set up. 2s is Fortified and Tyrannical. 4 is this new passive affix, which we're going to show in a second. And 7 is a pared down, it's a reduced version of some of the affixes that we're already going to be familiar with. So their goals for the affixes, they don't like that the affixes are having mechanical overlap between affix and dungeon trash design. So having to dispel something or having to CC something while you're also fighting the trash mobs. They want to make sure there's sort of like synergy where you're fighting things at the exact same time as you're dealing with the affix in the process, right? So their focus is shifting the source of challenge to the dungeon itself by simplifying affix design and emphasizing creature abilities. So what this really means is that like if casts are getting off, or if you're letting this mob alone or you're not focusing it down, then you're going to get really heavily punished by it. Less visual noise, nameplate clutter, and the cognitive load on players during trash combat. This is kind of weird because I've been doing non-stop dungeons ever since beta was released, and there's a lot of casts going off from these mobs. We haven't seen the other dungeons like, you know, Borealis or Necrotic Wake or any of those other ones that might be revamped or changed, but the ones we can actually see right now have a ton of casts going off and have a ton of stuff going on with them. So this is already kind of weird. And they want to allow for varied and context-specific gameplay decisions depending on the dungeon they're applied to. This sounds super weird, and when I show you the affixes in a second, it might make a little bit of sense here, and I can zoom in a little bit more if you guys want to read in as we focus on them. But I don't know what they mean by this gameplay decision. These affixes will include a positive effect, so yay, kiss curse. The aim of these positive effects is to highlight different damage types each week, allowing each specialization additional opportunities to excel during the season. So basically, no matter what spec you play, you'd have an advantageous week. They should feel like a bonus, offering an advantage for different damage profiles each week without being essential to complete a dungeon. Players will have an opportunity to flex towards different talents, gearing options, and consumables to capitalize on these effects. So one of the big things that stands out is that if you're having trinkets that are dealing different types of damage, this could be really helpful. But let me show you what I mean with these affixes, okay? Reckless. Non-boss enemies, keep this in mind, it's going to be the trend for all of these. Without mana, ignore 20% of armor with their attacks, but their armor is reduced by 30%, and they take 10% increased arcane damage. So melee specs and arcane, boomy, evoker, some stuff like that get a bonus week. Non-boss enemies without mana, once again, are inflicting physical damage to their attackers when attacked. So this is thorns, basically every mob, or well, whichever affected mobs there are going to be dealing damage back to you, but they take increased holy and shadow damage. Kind of weird that holy and shadow are put together. I'm sure if I'm a huge fan of that one. Non-boss enemies with mana are inflicting 20% increased magic damage, but take 10% increased nature damage and 30% increased damage from bleed effects. And so now you're going to have, like, there's two sort of melee weeks, whether they're taking more damage straight up or whether they're taking more damage from bleeds. And then finally, non-boss enemies with mana have increased haste, but take 10% increased frost and fire damage. And so they wanted to indicate whether the affixes apply to creatures with or without mana, and these affixes will not affect every creature. One thing I've noticed so far in the War Within is that there's a lot of mini-bosses throughout all of these fights. So For example, at the end of the Priory dungeon, there's a mini-boss which just radiates damage in like a 40 or 50 yard range of him. So if you step within 40 yards, you're going to start taking damage. And since he does not have mana, you might also just be taking even more damage on top of that from Thorns when you have it as the Affix this week. They're saying it's not affecting every single creature, but if there's a lot of mini-bosses in the dungeons they've shown us so far, and then it seems like they want to emphasize the Affix on specific hand-picked mobs every season, then it seems like you're going to get a really massive advantage for your run if you're in a fortified week and you have to kill off these priority enemies really quickly before they just murder you from all of the crazy amounts of damage that these affixes could possibly deal to you. You know, increased haste in particular could be really nasty because you can't just keep smashing kicks into it. You're going to run out of kicks and stops, and then they're going to cast you to death. Increased magic damage is punishing if you are missing out on those stops. It could also be incentivizing you to bring certain compositions that have enough stops, aka not priest, since you're lacking in those AoE stops, so that you're able to get enough taken care of onto that one. So it kind of goes on and on. I mean, some bosses are just naturally going to be dealing high levels of damage. I kind of like the idea of having some mobs dealing constant damage to you to make it so that, you know, healers are going to be actually important onto that one. But I don't know how it's going to go with something like Reckless, where the tanks are taking more damage. Because this one, in its entirety, is, you know, I mean, like, tanks really haven't been on life support for a while. So I'm not sure if that's going to be too much of a problem or not. But keep in mind, with the addition of affixes come the retirement of affixes. So Afflicted, Incorporeal, Entangled, Storming, and Volcanic are all getting retired. Which means that you are now only having Raging, Bolstering, Bursting, and Sanguine on the level 7 affix bucket. So you could have like, what, an 8-week rotation or something like that with your affixes and shuffle them around between, you know, these 4 in the 7 slot and then these 4 new ones in the 4 slot. But it pretty much boils down to 3 of these 4 affixes being affixes that people just didn't want and cause massive amounts of problem with tuning and design and the works. You know, you're going to be... It's almost like you have an Exodia week, but the Exodia changes. You know, if you have, like, Raging, you're going to really want to make sure you have an Evoker for the AoE Soothe. But you might also want to have an additional Soothe just in case for, like, a single target Soothe. And so if you're on the Attuned week, which is nature damage and bleed effects, then you might want to take advantage of having the Resto Druid in group because it has the Soothe and a lot of its damage is coming from those bleed effects that you have as well, right? It's really weird that it feels like they're going to like push or at least encourage you to min-max these things. And when they start talking about players having the opportunity to flex towards these different talents and gearing options and consumables, this, you could maybe argue works for some pures like mages. But then, like, what do Shadow Priests do? Like, what do Boomkins do? I mean, I guess Boomkin has some, like, weeks where they play Feral, but I don't know too many Boomkin players that love switching between Feral or Boomkin just to be able to get invites into their groups each week. And so it's this really weird, forced balancing in the same exact way that you're forced into bringing all of the classes into the raid for raid buffs. It feels very artificial. It feels really weird. It's like a substitute for actually balancing the game itself. And we've already been dealing with these issues of, you know, one-shots. I've made a million videos for healers about how one-shot heavy and bursty damage can be. And if you're just making mobs crank out more damage, or in infinitely scaling content, you have mobs that are just having massive amounts of increased haste, and you are having the affix combinations which stop monsters from being able to be stunned, make them deal more damage, or heal them if you're, you know, not killing everything equally. It just makes it so that these mobs are going to get more casts off, and they're having the passive effects rolled into it. I understand what they're trying to do so that you're not having affixes be the mechanics that you need to do while you're also fighting monsters. But then you're also forcing people to run certain compositions to have an easier time. And you might say, well, no one's forcing them to do it. Well, are we just going to start tuning like dungeon timers so that it's every dungeon's going to be like Fall, where you're going to chest the dungeon but rack up 30 deaths and you're like, yeah, we eventually did it, guys, great job. Like, I don't know. Those dungeons, I felt like I failed the dungeon, even though we still like timed it. It felt like bad to time those dungeons when you had so many failures and so many deaths along the way. I honestly don't know. It's really weird that they're talking about still experimenting with how tyrannical and fortified will work, because basically the 4th tier affix only impacts the trash mobs. So fortified weeks are just going to naturally feel even harder all the time. It's basically like you've taken fortified and rolled it and like broken it up into little pieces. So every week trash mobs are just going to be more annoying, but they'll be doubly annoying on the fortified weeks when they have more health. So what's the point of even having tyrannical and fortified weeks if all of the 4 affixes just make the trash more deadly? And the only way really to stop these mobs is to kill them quickly with really high damage comps that are synergizing with whatever the affix week is, or having lots of shutdowns, which doesn't really work with this focused one because of the haste increases that you have. And so as a result, it's going to be weird having some specs like, I don't know, Havoc Demon Hunter, which have chaos damage and they can always have a good week no matter what. Other specs like mages at worst would have to switch specs to benefit from their bonus damage every single week. Specs like Shadow Priest would have nothing to jump to because, I mean, yeah, it might be nice as a Shadow main to go holy and do a little bit of damage as a healer, but I don't think that they're going to be tuning these dungeons around healer damage being so important that you need to kill it. And what are you left with? I don't know. I'm just baffled by this change. I'm baffled by this change. There's like a little bit of good in it. If I was going to have to pick something positive out of it, I like the idea of like certain mobs having thorns effects, but this feels like an artificial form of beguiled, but you're making it every single week is like a different lieutenant that's sort of like empowered throughout the dungeons. And I'd have to imagine this is also a lot of work for them to undertake, because they're going to have to specifically pick and choose which mobs are going to be empowered the entire way. They haven't announced anything, not that I've seen at least, for when M+ testing is, and I'm also recording this live, so chat, did they say anything about M+ testing? When it's going to be? So who knows? Last time, actually every time we've done M+ testing, they've given us scrolls, and as a result, people have just dodged testing any of the affixes whatsoever. And so if these things are tuned really nastily, which they probably will be, and you can have scrolls and dodge the affixes in their entirety, you're probably going to have people just not test these affixes at all, and they just want to play the dungeons. And then they're going to go live, and everybody is going to be punished, and everyone's going to feel bad. So, Blizzard, if you want to go through with this, my message to you is you need to force people to play with these affixes, and you need to be ready to adjust these numbers or adjust which targets are actually going to be set up by this. With 2 months to go before the expansion, I don't know if they're going to actually have the room or be willing to make changes towards this. But just from the very beginning, it seems like they made these affixes and then they made the reasons up afterwards, because there's many different specs in the game that are not able to flex towards different talents or specializations to take advantage of these beneficial weeks. And you've added all of the affixes that people hate in the 7 tier. And so I don't quite understand. And yeah, for those who missed it, Reckless is the physical weak because the armor of the enemies is reduced by 30%. So there is something there. But boy, I'm not loving it right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and everything like that, as we're going to have more updates coming for the War Within beta. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all next time. All right, chat, who was that guy who said I didn't hit the record button? I definitely hit the record button. Yeah, but at least I didn't like set it by name, you know? It could have been worse. Could have been worse, man. It could have been worse. Dun 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 dun. Can I load Adobe? Please. I'm also gonna log out of the game. All right, chat. Come watch me video edit. 1 sec. Damn, I don't remember which project I had. We'll see, we'll see. Also, yeah, I know that my camera is like bright and stuff. Get some sunlight, chat. It's good for you. Uh, all right. I'm sorry if I missed some chat and stuff. We'll catch up. Or Hypo TW to see how mental this all is. Yeah, mental's one way of looking at it. Mental's certainly one way to look at it. For you. That people hate. And as a result, people have just dodged testing any of the affixes whatsoever. And you subscribe to the channel and everything like that, as we're going to have more updates coming for the War Within beta. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all next time. All right. Cool beans. And in Corp Gun finally. So weird. Also Rip Warriors. Also Rip Warriors. And Rogues. For the winners, Mage. Yeah, at least you can change talents in Mythic Dungeons. That's something. At least that's something. Oh shit, that's right. I gotta find the font. Chat, what's the font? I just started using Canva. I have no idea what I'm doing. Fuck. Camera died? Yeah, I can't fix it right now. Something like that. Add your brand fonts. Nope. Damn, I wish I had more time to work on this. I was literally just trying to do this the other day. That'll's already beat me to it. That's all right. You guys are gonna watch my video. Right? Right? They playing out the class phone in the trash can? Yeah. Watch my video and repeat. That's my man. That's my man. On the beat Tyrannos. That's right. Suggestions, chat, input. Good enough for government work? I wish I could remember what color I usually have for the fonts. I don't know, color palette? It's a bit better. I mean, we're in a rush. We're going quick. We are going for speed. New Affix are awesome. Black stroke to prevent blending with the background. How do I do that? Chat, I don't know. What's the deal? What's the use? That's the sauce. Outline was fine. I think that's a bit much. Okay, that's actually better. Okay, that's better. Conduit is also really fun. Yeah. Fuck. Did you... They move my mouth. Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to do one thing. Chat, please. Killing me, Smalls. Sorry, I'm ignoring you guys, chat. I'll be ready momentarily. Almost there. I was like literally planning to go figure out Canva and like how I wanted to set it up and everything today after stream so I could actually like streamline this whole process when I wanted to make last second things. Okay. Should take a second, but it'll be up. I am aware the camera's frozen. I'm working on it, chat. Chat, you guys want me to make a YouTube video, or you want a camera to work? Pick one. Pick one. Once you find your way around, you used to make it for flyers and announcements. Yeah, I had my buddy who was hitting me up with the fonts and everything. I just wasn't sure what I wanted to. I wasn't sure what I wanted to have for like the fonts and everything like that. Like, well, he hit me up with the fonts, but I didn't want to see what the effects were going to be, basically. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, chat. There we go. Dad's back. Yay. All right. Have Shaman with the bubble hero talent. The bubble, like the Farseer stuff. Whew. How you doing, Alice? All right. Did I miss anybody's super important chat message? Damn, my replies are blowing up. Look, Mama, hit tweet. Fine, reasonable for not liking any of the announced changes. No, you're pretty reasonable, man. You're pretty reasonable. I don't know. I feel like they made Incorp not bad. I feel like they made Incorp not bad, and then this. Why is video pending? Finish processing, I beg. Incorp liker. I mean, other people can actually help on it, you know? Yeah, other people can actually like it. Please, YouTube, process my video. Lack imagination. Why they're removing the ones they are? No. Tune in focus with 4 is going to be insane for group-wide damage. Yeah, it's going to be insane. I mean, hey, good news for healers. We're going to be necessary. That is for certain. Different meta every week? We'll see. I'm worried about it for healers, honestly. I am pretty worried about it for healers. Things I feel bad of these. Overfeeding approximately 85% of your AoE damage. What? How is it not? What the heck? Just process the video for standard definition. Why is it hard for it to process this? Just 7 minutes. What's the gist of the changes? Each week, certain key mobs take additional damage. But they haven't said what they are. And yeah, they kept all the worst affixes. I doubt it. I'm just saying, if they don't force you to play with affixes on when they open up beta and plus testing, stuff is going to be so bad. It's going to be so bad. Oh, man. It's not the correct class with the type of damage. Yep. I mean, listen, maybe they're going to be like garbage mobs, okay? Maybe they're going to be garbage mobs nobody cares about, right? People would never want to test dungeons with affixes, be assigned to them if people hate affixes. Yeah. Or at least they don't want to have affixes that are so insanely impactful that they're going to wreck somebody's day, you know? All right, video's up. Chat, if you've loved me or ever loved me, put it on, mute the tab, give it a thumbs up. Get that algorithm going, okay? Open your homepage, see if there's new upload from Jack, and click on it. Get a little comment. That'd be rad. Thank you, gamers. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Understanding the M plus squish is the new squish. So TW season 1 will be DF season 320s. No. M0 will be a 10 hero. 7 tabs open. Let's go. Zero graphics, does everyone get bored? They would. But like, we just don't need this kind of stuff. Big Dog Max went up. Let's see. Ooh, Hal's back. Let's see. Max is going to be eating good today. He just said, oh boy. Oh boy. Yep. My man, Rums. Thank you, guys. Like, I commented, thank you. It actually legit does make a difference, because, like, most of the views I get on YouTube are when YouTube thinks people like something, and then they recommended it to more people as a result. It's actually huge. So I appreciate you guys. Oh, yeah, what did you say earlier, Tub? I missed it. Please let this post be a social experiment. Yeah. That'll probably be VDH, Druid, Mage, Lock. Yeah. I'm really concerned because there are specs like that where like they can actually like do all the things. Holy Pally talent tree. We look today with how the talents are for rating in Wowhead and post the link here in chat. I mean, what? When you just go to the Wowhead guide for Holy Pally? Like, get this? Farrell's gonna be eating good on Bleeding Week. Yeah, are they gonna actually have Boomkins switch to Farrell or something like that? God. The reason for Boomkins to cry? Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be kind of justified. Bree's going to cry as well, all right? Bree's going to cry as well. Yeah. Yeah, another setup of VOG. In the current dungeons, it seems to be right back to just bolts, pelts in the tank, and no one else. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Tanks live through everything. Yeah. A Prot Warrior? Well, you know. Just reflect them, smile. Our druid can deal huge damage in all weeks, and the only week you need healing, they have the best healing profile for Thorns. Woo! Love it. Yeah, their time to shine. Like everybody has to like take turns. Really cooking with the war within until today. Yeah. It's something else. I got the video pinned at the top. So make sure you guys click on that for the old algorithm. But keeping all the affixes people hated, and yeah, keeping all the affixes that people hated, and then adding more that give damage buffs to only select people is certainly a decision. Certainly something. Their playthroughs of my H Valley content. I have all the VODs on my YouTube. If you go to like the live section, and I also have a video dedicated to Holy Pally on my channel as well. So there should be a lot of options out there for you. Some of the damage issues I think the game has, yeah. That's right. Well, isn't a lot of vengeance and stuff chaos as well? I know it's a meme, but these devs even play their own game? Makes you wonder. Ghost affixes are gone, and that's all that matters. It's so funny because they were like, we want to do something with Afflicted because we don't like it, and then now they just remove it. Yeah. Mostly magic, and so is DK Rep Alley, yeah. Why specific damage types make the most is 5 to 10% or something like that, yeah. So, I'm good right now, Gar. I might get it set up a little bit later or something like that. At least they aren't going to spawn behind a wall. Yeah, you know, something. How much videos do we need to watch to give you the goods? They like... There's like a bajillion different factors, but if you ever just like mute the tab, like right-click the tab and mute it, and then like let it play full, that helps a lot. That way they're like, oh my gosh, people like it, you know. But my god, that was certainly something. Appreciate you, AJ. Yeah. The real answer is it's like a combination of like interactions and all this other stuff, but doing one thing always helps hugely. Hugely. How much of Warlock's damage is chaos? Is Kalamazoo going to be up good from this? Everyone hated how Warriors couldn't do Afflicted, and now there are all these damage buffs like half the classes can't use. Yup. Only Bolt? Oh, okay. Actually, what is most of Warlock's damage then? Shadow damage, right? Oh, it's Shadow and Fire. Oh. Huh. Wait, okay, so if they're like really broken up a lot, would it be fair to say that they would not be the best choice each week? Oh, there's other... Oh, a Shadow Priest could do more Shadow damage. Oh, a Fire Mage could do more Fire damage. Lol, they don't do Arcane damage, right? Like, wouldn't that, like, fuck Warlock? Because they would be a decent option for the weeks, but not the best option for the week. You see what I'm saying? Most of the time they are Rums, yeah. What are they doing? You know what would have helped? Almost only fire damage? Oh, okay. Assassination Rogue deals more nature and bleeds, so they'll just own the attuned week. Okay. Man, they better make it like only a handful of mobs or something like that. They better. So I don't speak... I think this is Portuguese. But I can already tell he's not happy. I can already tell he's not happy. It's Spanish? Ah. I took German in high school. All right. This shit design is all I can read. Yeah. Giga shit design, okay? Giga shit design. He might be saying it's bad. Yeah. Spanish reader. Gotcha. Context clues. Oh, man. Apparently I understand Spanish. Exactly. I was trying to make a point, Shadow. Come on. There's giga shit design just right next to each other. I was like, I know what those words mean. Oh, man. DH just M plus gods now? Yeah. They got the buffs they want, you know? Well, I mean, competitive WoW is going to have a field day judging the success and failure of the expansion by comparing it to M plus dungeons done, you know? It reads to you that's every mob? No, it's at the bottom right here. It says these affixes will not affect every creature. That was my first impression, though, Kev, and that's why I waited like a second, you know? Thank you, Bizzle. Thank you, everybody, for checking out the video and stuff. I mean, I think it would be good to have as M plus affixes, or MDI affixes, excuse me, because then it would be cool to see the Exodia comps that people would make as a result of it, right? And then that would force the variety, you know? But for the average player, I feel like it's going to be garbage. Like, there's a lot of people who just play the game, like, for M+, you know? Any videos? Not any, like, thing lately. I always take Phantasm in that dungeon, though, Kane. I take Phantasm in that dungeon, so that way I can use Fade to remove my debuff and dispel somebody else. Yeah. Wildstalker gonna pop off on those take more bleed damage weeks? Yep. Absolutely. Hey, now, holy crap. Thank you for the raid. Hello, how you doing, Juno? Welcome in, gamers, welcome in. Holy crap. What a day. What a day for M+ everywhere. Guys, if you haven't followed now already, be sure to do so. Be sure to join us. It's pinned right up at the top. There might be a bit of doomerin. There might be a bit of doomerin going on right now. Little horrifying events happening today. How's everybody doing? This disturbed our perfectly peaceful moment of testing healers on beta. What do I plan to play this season? I don't know. We're gonna have to see what's gonna work the best with this. Oh my god. It's all over. True, we were getting a lot of disconnects today. Yep. Had to know these would not be well received. Yeah. I don't know why they would like keep all the affixes people don't like here. Especially, you know? See, that's the thing is I think it's gonna be good for MDI or TGP to watch these things. It's good to watch other people kind of be forced into it, you know? But yeah, why keep the worst ones? I mean, I think it could be good if it's like only a handful of mobs in a dungeon. And then most of the dungeon you're just spending playing against Raging, Bolstering, Bursting Sanguine. But, you know. That's my thing, right, Ace? It's like, wow, these affixes actually are like a huge pain to deal with, you know? If that's not the reason they're just making the game for the pro scene, I would hope not. I would hope not. I mean, like, you got to keep in mind, they've been pretty consistently eroding WoW esports for a while now. You know, people aren't even getting flown out for like in-person events anymore. kind of dumb they wouldn't incentivize us to bring different classes. Like I play the same class every week. Yeah, yeah. So true, Griff. So true, man. Needs to be a decent replacement for Fort. Yeah, it actually really does feel like it's fortified. You know, they do cataclastic competition where the raid portion takes an hour. Yeah, I don't think they got much of a return on investment there. I don't think so. Two of them are mobs with mana. The other two are mobs without. Some dungeons are just going to feel way worse than others. Yeah, some dungeons will feel way worse than others. Which mobs that they apply them to is going to make a really, really large difference as well. How many mobs that they're applying them to. Your weekly bug keys are ruined over this. I mean, it might just be a pain in the ass to be... It might just end up being a really big pain in the ass to get invited, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, man. It's so weird because it's like they sort of twist things. They're like... How do I even describe this? They're like, people wanted Kiss Curse affixes, and here they go, right? But it's only benefiting some people on certain weeks. Like, oh my god, dude. Yeah, let me run to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll continue on with some healer testing. One sec, guys. My oh my. It's shocking that Blizz loves mages a lot. Yep. Cannot believe that they are making mages stronger. Unbelievable. Different mobs stronger depending on the weeks. What else should an affix do? At least it's one you can game around. I like these affixes which rip your timer. I mean, you still have bolstering, bursting, raging, and sanguine. Mages want this? Well, I think they want it more than not getting invited to a group. That's just me. Well, the thing is, things might change, but it's also really limited time. Like we are running out of time. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't remove it either, Weed. I got no idea, man. Oh my goodness. Often change affixes last minute. I mean, like I said, they can change stuff. But I don't know about last minute. Be reading into anything? No. I want to, like, play Paladin, but if they don't change the spec, then I'm not gonna have it as one of like my primary alts next season. Old Explosive and Entangling and Afflicted were much worse before they were released. They actually fixed Afflicted like week 1 or something like that when it happened. Something like that. Wait, they took my feedback. They took my feedback, chat. They're gonna force affixes on the keys. They're gonna put the affixes on the keys. Let's go. Attuned, focus, raging, bolstering, and fortified. Yep, there's gonna be some shit. Come Thursday, we're gonna have a grand old time, that's for sure. That is for sure. Quick recording of the video. And my camera's gonna die, and people are gonna yell at me because of my camera. Yo, chat, this is not the locker room. Y'all don't need to go swing your giblets out and compare, alright? How many mobs are affected by these affixes? That's the thing, is like it could be a non-issue if it's only like a handful of mobs you actually have to deal with. Yeah. Yeah, I just saw. Gonna be a busy Thursday. All day stream on Thursday? Well, maybe they make it like a handful of mobs at the start of a season, and then like over time they make it larger. I don't know, man. I just work here. I just work here. Yeah, I pinned the video at the top, Radix. They are changing up affixes, for better or worse. Yeah. People think it's every mob, but watching the stream only a few have mana bars. Well, there's 2 affixes for mobs with mana bars, and there's 2 affixes for mobs without mana bars. Yeah. Chat, Wait, what are you guys talking about? You goobers. Reckless is without mana. Thorned is without mana. Attuned is with mana. Focused is with mana. Chat, you guys gonna hurt my feelings? I thought you guys all watched and thumbed up the video and left a comment. Oh my god. You're gonna care about the mana? I mean, imagine there's gonna be like a buff or something like that attached to it. There'd have to be. There'd have to be. So true, dude. So true. I'm sure you make the right decision, Griffin. Killing Guardian with that armor reduced. Yeah. We'll see if we have room, base. We'll see if we have room. At least I'm not DCing. Well, I'll say that now. At each other about Affixes. I just want to know what the Chaos Bolt machine gun was over Fiend or something like that. Warlock. Just a glutton for punishment. What can I say? Outside of Priest, what am I most excited about? Probably... I don't know, I'm kind of surprised about Shaman. Or kind of hopeful about Shaman. Shaman, Evoker, there's a few. Yeah, I wonder if they are gonna like invite more people. I don't know. Usually they do invite like almost everybody who got CE and everything, but not sure. See, invites went out today. Nice. So, well, usually they open up CE invites when raid testing starts because they want the CE raiders to test the content. That's why I said it. They made us a mob without CE, but it took a few weeks. Yeah. How do I feel about this? Affix made Pug M plus a pain in the ass. Yup. It really makes you think. Oh yeah, he died. Good comes, good comes. He is the most suitable for the affixes. Resto Druid. Resto Druid. I don't watch basketball, but isn't there like a meme of like get ready to learn Chinese? I don't know if anybody even actually said that or not, but this is like a get ready to learn Resto Druid, buddy. I hired a graphic designer, Goylan, to make a few different thumbnails for me, and then I use Canva to edit the font. I still gotta get better at it. I gotta sit there for a second, actually figure out what font and effects and things like that I need to put on it to make it actually look good. The real artists do. I walk in, just oh my god, I'm dead. Yep. Oh man. Yeah, Warlock, pretty good, man. Warlock, pretty good. Melee mechanics, I know. Dude, he's summoning like an entire gang. Summoning an entire gang of dudes. It's a feature, love it. Aaron froze again? Man, what is going on? Oh my goodness. All right. Data break and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have like a leak in my window or something like that that's letting like more hot air in. I don't know if that's like overheating my shit. And we're back, yay! No idea. Alright. Is H probably a bloated spec? Yep. Very bloated. Very bloated. Many buttons, many procs, many things to spend. Only add-on I'm using right now is details. Like barely, Sarah. Like barely. Oh man. So at least bloated healer, maybe preservation evoker. Maybe. intensity. No, thank you for the 25 months and the prime. Cheers, my dude. Server restart, of course. Man, these Blizzard employees are gonna be living in their office, I swear. Feeling about H-Pally? I miss it too, man, but also the spec feels kinda bloated. Actually, very bloated. What keyboard? I'm gonna try the JB keyboard, the whatever it's called. What? Whatever was the thing I used money to buy. The Wooting. The Wooting 2K XYZ PDQ. Yeah. Wooting 2He. Full-size analog keyboard. Yeah. I like the one that Bellular linked, but it's also kind of compact. And I got like monster hands, so I don't really want like a small shrinked up keyboard. I was gonna get a DOS keyboard, but they don't have red keys. They don't have cherry reds, so. Season start, world first rating or casting up in the air? Definitely not world first rating anymore. It's too much time. Like I would just not have time to like make videos and do M+ and things I want to do. So I'm still gonna raid with Incarnate. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we get hired for some world first casting. Red keys and cherry reds, yeah. Yeah, they only had the clickety clacks. Corsair strafe with cherry MX Sightlings that I had, but they no longer make it. Dang. Spam Echo, do they hire Jack so he also gets an EU trip out of it? Eh? We'll see, man. We'll see. It's tough. Like, there's a lot of talented casters out there. So, there's a lot of talented casters, big creators, and everything like that. So, nothing's guaranteed. We get hired, we're gonna treat it like it's always gonna be our last, you know? Oh yeah, we're not streaming on Wednesday. And we are going to burn rubber on Thursday. We are gonna be busy on Thursday. So. I mean, as nice as working for Liquid Team is, I'm sure is, heck going to Texas. Wait, I go to LA for that. I go to LA for that. Yeah. I would love it if they put it in Texas, man. Let's go. You like where the dev heads are trying to constantly mix up the meta each week with these Affix changes, but the community's gonna community? Yeah. They used to do Race to World First in like Dallas. But that was when I was raiding with Imperative, so I never did anything with Complexity. Yeah, I saw the restart coming. We'll see if we can squeeze in a dungeon. If not, no biggie. If not, no biggie. Those will rework Wildstalker talent, so useless. I feel like both the hero talents for Druid need some kind of like flashy visual. I don't know. Maybe it needs like attached to the character instead of being flowers on the ground, you know? Flashy visuals, don't play your rogue alt. Oh yeah, is it insane? Nurse is unused. Yeah, there's always gonna be like bad talents with the way they've designed these trees. Yeah. That's right, Griffin, I know. And you're going to San Antonio of all places. So messed up. Yeah. Stratus post, Demon Hunters, the chaos damage are going to be meta all season. Yup. Yup. Using Hairless Sun, I'm having to do geometry. I wouldn't worry about that part too much. What I would recommend you do is, like, if you don't have a Dawn Light on a ranged player, just cast it on the ranged player. Did I hear about the protest the French are planning? Damn, they're quick. I mean, listen, I hate these new affixes as much as the next guy, but I didn't think I'd get a protest going that fast. PTR available on launcher. Can I play without a sub? Don't know about that. You can certainly try. They're not going to arrest you. That I know of. I don't think they're going to bust your door down. Let's see. Sounds good. I responded to Lux. How's H Priest? I think it's really good. I think Archon's gonna be really, really fun. The hero talents are fun for Holy Pally, but the base spec is just bloated. Yeah, but Holy Priest is a lot of fun. Archon Priest is really, really nice. Yeah. Yeah. What's your username, Fake? A lot more fun than I was expecting. Just a lot of work, you know? That's my thing. Yeah, you can just ask that stuff in like Twitch chat and stuff, man. Yeah, asking like add-on questions. Just asking in chat. Yeah, you're probably right, Swift. All the DPS want it though. All the DPS want it. Go Toilet Gingy. What a name. Don't act brand new. Sorry. What a name, dude. What a name. Yeah. All I did, Fake, is I went to the options menu, click casting, and I bound all my spells this way. Save it for your partner, Griffin. Save it for her. Certainly, people name themselves subsequently what I refer to them as. Yeah, that is for certain. I'm just scrolling through and I'm seeing all the people who used to play WoW react to all this news. Watching like Sloot and Trell. Yeah, Growl's like, everyone wanted Kiss Curse affixes. Well, here you go. Yep. That actually is what Blizzard probably thinks, unironically. Oh my god. Take it easy, Swift. Cheers, my dude. Taking tears in, is it Hand Divinity? Yeah. That helps. That helps. But, like, I don't know. Variety would be fine. I just, like, Tears should honestly do Hand of Divinity should be rolled into Tears, in my opinion. But Hand of Divinity should be, like, very focused on caster stuff. Have a good night, Matt. Take it easy, my dude. Yeah. But something like that. I mean, like, the general consensus is that, like, they've found good ways to roll multiple effects into singular abilities, and they need to do that again. 3 minutes left, yeah, on Q. Okay. Yeah. Because, I mean, they kind of accidentally did it with Totem Shaman, if you think about it. Because Totem Shaman consuming all of your chain heal modifiers by casting a totem, and then it casts the chain heal and everything like that, actually does an amazing job of being able to, like, roll in multiple effects together. It's actually really insane. It's also just super weird. Having to cast 200 every 10 seconds is a huge plus. Dude, it's so much fun. Have you played it, Zach? It's actually insanely fun. Not resubbed? Okay. Well, if you ever get, like, beta access or something like that, then try it out, dude, because it's so much fun. And then your healing stream totem, you have 2 charges, you have totemic recall to reset it, you know, you already know this stuff. And it's casting chain heals that are benefiting from tidal wave stacks, high tide stacks, tidebringer stacks, like all of it. So you're getting, like, hard-hitting chain heals that are, like, helping you heal as damage is out. Yeah, Shaman feels pretty damn good, man. It feels, like, smoother to play, you know? What if Blizzard will change the upgrade for Nourish from cast 3 regrowth to have instant cast to overheal? To change to a shield? What do you think you are, a priest? You're wild, man. It's very fun. Yeah, that's the thing, is, like, acid rain positioning might suck, but I definitely know with certainty that it's, like, focusing on, like, pets and, like, guardians and little trash mobs. So, like, there's some things that I know that they can fix with it to make it better. I don't know if it's going to guarantee make it better, but, like, there's certainly some stuff. Yeah. There's certainly some stuff. Oh, a priest. Make consecration a passive effect. Yeah, or just, like, follow you around on, like, a longer cooldown or something. But to make your spenders hit, what, 20% harder or something like that? Like, are they out of their minds? Yeah. Yay, Word of Glory does more healing. Yay. Yeah, you go to the server Diddley that's they take it to 11, or this goes to 11, and then you just make a character, and then it's automatically level 80. You drop into town, you can't leave town, you can't go quest or any of that stuff on that server. So keep that in mind. But, you know, you get it ready for raid testing, M+ testing, you know, get your gems and enchants on your gear, all of that. All of that. I'll have to do that over the next couple days. Extra badge to garner attention? Maybe, man. Maybe. I'm glad that they're forcing the affixes, though. I'm really glad they're forcing it. How's it going, Donald Pump? How feels H-Pal? Bloated. I got like a billion abilities. I got a billion abilities. And they all feel kind of mid. You don't like Sun's Avatar? It's a lot of passive healing, and Wings feels good, but H-Pal doesn't have that impactful outside of Wings. Yeah. No, you're totally right on that, man. It's like, yay, more cooldown healing, but you already have a lot of cooldown healing. Even more abilities than current and plus. I mean, it's about similar, right? But if you compare it to Mistweaver, Mistweaver had Zen Pulse removed, Refreshing Jade Wind removed. Well, they made them passives, I should say. Chat, help. A couple other ones. Anyway, they've done some things to streamline it. Totem Shaman does more things to streamline it, right? Essence Font, thank you. They've done a few things to make... Oh yeah, Cheat Wave as well, good call. They've done a few things to make Mistweaver have less button bloat, and they've done a few things to make Resto Shaman have less button bloat with Totemic Shaman, right? And they have not done those things with Paladin. You know, they did it with Disc Priest in 10.2. They have been kind of doing it with Resto Druid, getting rid of Adaptive Swarm. Like, there's a number of things like that, right? There's a number of things like that. And so that just really hasn't happened for Paladin. And the rework that they got in Season 2 just added bloat rather than subtracted. Lightsmith Wog should work as intended. Should, yeah. But yeah, it's no surprise that there's some, like, there's gonna be some kind of bugs, you know? Yeah, there's still some like interesting bugs going on. Yeah. Let's see how long it takes for servers to come back. Server restarts can mean a lot of things. Yeah. I will at least say they do a really good job of making sure like the class fantasy of Paladin really gets like recognized, which is good. I was kind of hoping that Eternal Flame would be a thing, and then I could run Light of the Martyr. So like an Eternal Flame myself, and then have all the negative absorb get munched up. But yeah, true. I felt like I was getting ridiculous greater judgment healing. I don't know if it's gonna feel that way when we go into M+ and damage gets higher though. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But healers should someone pick up if they're new to healers, but not to MMOs? Holy Priest. 100%. It is like the best real healer to like start with, you know? And then you have like the other specialization that you're leveling with it, right, is disc. So AC needs a buff, make a judgment, have 2 charges. Dude, if you had that with 2 charges, Crusader Strike with 2 charges, Veneration. AC felt pretty fun. Yeah. The longer be playing a tank in the War Within, yeah, they're gonna delete you off the face of the earth, man. Yep. Yeah, if tanks aren't like Omega Stout at the start or something, oof. Casting Eternal Flame on someone that already has it would instantly heal for the remaining duration. That'd be huge. I would love that. That'd be some insane spot heals. Kiting meta again. It's early. We'll see. We'll see. Some tanks feel really, really stout at the moment. Or like beginning of Shadowlands where people are running for their lives. Oh my god. People are just like fighting for their tanks, really just like fighting for aggro and for survivability. VDH some prop alley, yeah. I mean, the amount of stops VDH has and still has, insane. Well, season was a tank and SL. Season 1, now you're a healer. Oh no, man. Yeah. Zorbs and support feel like it'll be numerically behind compared to Herald in both raid and plus. I think it's a safe bet that it's going to be behind in raids. But I wonder if they would like you sacrifice some healing for damage. And I think that'd be fair for keys. I don't know. Oh, it 100% is chaos, yeah. No, I don't think that it would work like that icon. That'd be sick though. That would be sick. It'd be cool if like doing dungeons at max level gives you like a token or something to give you an XP buff or something like that. I'd love that. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, while the servers are down, I'm gonna chill for the evening. I got some work to do. I have many videos to make and prep up and everything like that. So I'm gonna get cracking on those and get some dinner in me, guys. But thank you for joining. If you guys haven't followed the stream already, be sure to do so. We're gonna be co-streaming on Twitch and YouTube all the time. So if you're enjoying one or the other, we're always gonna stream on both of them, read all their chats and all that other fun stuff. But huge thank you for all the Prime subs today, for all the love today. You guys are the reason I'm able to do what I do. I really appreciate it. But new video, we might have another video talking about all the healers up tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm going to try to get it out as quick as I can. And we'll be slamming, all right? But man, this weekend is going to be something else. It really is. Anyway, dudes, take it easy. Have a good one. And I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Also, we're doing a podcast with Now tomorrow. So we'll probably do some beta stuff, then podcast with Now and talk about the issues with M+, and that'll probably be one of the big topics. Later, guys.